Welcome, Queen. Did you mislabel it? Your relationship. If you check Webster's dictionary for mislabel, it states to label something in parentheses incorrectly or falsely. But may I submit another definition to you? The act of labeling, overlooking, or not recognizing the true attributes of a person, place, or thing. I don't know if you like to read, but I am currently in a coaching group called Daniel's Den, and Dr. Daniels has recommended the book for the month of June, Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. And as I read rule number 5, it inspired me to think about how often we mislabel relationships. And here's why I say that. Because while relationships will inevitably have many ups and downs and seasons that last longer than we would like them to sometimes, there comes a point in time where we must be willing to ask the uncomfortable question: do I want to live this current reality forever? And if the answer is no, then we must ask, what am I willing to do to live to have the reality that I truly desire for a lifetime? And this, although I focus specifically on dating, it can happen after you've said I do. Which is why sometimes people say, hey, you know what? It's over. I only married you because you were pregnant. Or, you know what? Our kids are grown. I'm done. Or even, it's not you, it's me. And some people will brag on the power of the P. Yes, ladies. But you're not out there alone, because some men will brag on the power of the D. That's why Lauryn Hill could say she dedicated a verse to the women and the men about that thing. And you know the thing I'm talking about. And that leads to soul ties, which is a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. So the list goes on and on. But the point is that people, even us, we get into relationships for a number of reasons. There are a number of varying factors. And one of those is something called oxytocin. Yes, oxytocin. And we all have this. We all experience it naturally. It's not permanent though. It's in essence, so I don't lose anyone, just a hormone that is in our brains, and it sends messages that have the ability to impact our social connection and bonds. And it gives us that feel good feeling. It just makes us feel good temporarily. That's why sometimes you can say, I don't know why I keep going back to him. He don't treat me right, but he just, I don't know, something about him just make me feel good. Yeah, it just might be oxytocin. But the thing is, commitment is not temporary. It requires both people to be willing to build trust to sustain a relationship. And that means it requires an investment of time. So if you find yourself constantly thinking, I don't know what did happen. It used to be good. This relationship used to be everything I hoped for, but now it's a whole hot mess. If you find yourself constantly arguing, feeling stressed out, frustrated, overwhelmed, wondering, what can I do to make things better? What can I do to turn this around? What different do I need to say to get a different reaction, a different response to put us back on track? If you're wondering, do I really need to just keep sticking in there and fighting it out is this just a rough patch? Or saying, you know what, even though it may be a rough patch, I feel conflicted about staying because I feel I've already stayed too long. And at the same time, you feel conflicted about leaving because you're saying, I've invested so much already. It's possible that you've mislabeled your relationship. And the thing about it is this: sometimes the desire we have to be in love can cause us to connect with people we're drawn to and label that connection as love. But the reality is, being drawn to someone doesn't mean you found your happily ever after. Because committing to forever is a lifelong mission, not a burst of emotionally charged feelings that give you a momentary sensational high of love and happiness. As always, I'm Sam telling you, 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours, you could change your life. So go ahead and do something life changing now.